British monarchy be truly worried about the actions of the one-time royal Prince Harry? And as ever, why? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Thank you for joining me today. Nice to have your company as ever. And also thank you so much for your very kind comments about the legend that is Engelbert Humperdinck. I have passed on those messages to Engelbert himself, who was absolutely thrilled. Honestly, he's a lovely, lovely man and truly deserves that award. I would have made him Sir Engelbert personally though, but there you go, that's just me. Back as ever though to your Breaking Bold story of the day. This particular story is rather serious because, as we saw last week, Prince Harry decided to point out a few facts in an interview to international TV once again. And this really centred on the fact that not only was he protecting Our Gracious Majesty the Queen, not quite from who or what or whatever, but also that he had a very special relationship with her and that he could speak to her about things that she couldn't speak to anyone else about. Love to be a fly on the wall for that, wouldn't you? But of course now over here the British monarchy are rather concerned, and rightly so when you think about it, because it's a very shrewd and clever move by Prince Harry, and as ever we have to say allegedly. But as we know, he's got his book coming out later this year, but it is part of another book deal. There could be another book. And the thinking behind this, particularly in very close circles in the monarchy, is this: that this, by painting that particular picture, gives him sort of carte blanche to talk about possible conversations and situations that only he would have partaken with Our Gracious Majesty the Queen, leaving the door really wide open to create any sort of story or discussion. Now, I'm not suggesting for one moment that this could be the case, but you can paint the picture. The other side of the coin is this, of course, that by saying that, he did sort of paint another picture, that Her Majesty the Queen was either frightened, lonely, and really was reaching out to someone that she obviously dealt with and loved very deeply for many years. And by him returning, even for a very brief 15-13 minute period, it just proved how much he'd missed him and of course what the connection really was. Now, it is damaging to the monarchy because it's basically saying that the rest of them don't have that same warm relationship. And let's not forget, this isn't simply just aimed at the family like Prince Charles, Kate, Prince Edward and all of that sort of thing. It's actually aimed at those people that looked after Our Majesty the Queen during the terrible time of COVID, the HM bubble as they called it. A lot of staff gave up their personal time, a lot of time, to simply remove themselves from their families to look after our monarch, particularly after the loss of her dear husband, the Duke of Edinburgh. So you can imagine how they felt when they saw and read these particular comments. But for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, of course, the name of the game now is celebrity and keeping your name to the forefront of the media, whichever way you look at it. Now, the other side of the coin simply could be this: Prince Harry could be being very honest. Perhaps they do have a very special relationship and share things that only they know about. But how crass for Prince Harry then to share that with the rest of the world. As ever, when I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.